Wonderful to see you again. Every time I get to share one of my stories with you, I really cherish that time together. I hope you will like this one. Some stories don't need to be told loudly. They don't need music swelling. They don't need heroes shouting. They need quiet, because the weight of them is already heavy enough. Tonight, I want to tell you a story about restraint, about patience, about strength that doesn't swing back, even when it has every reason to. This is a bedtime story about Jackie Robinson, but not the whole legend, just the first year, just the part where he had to hold everything in. Chapter 1. Before the Promise. Jack Roosevelt Robinson was born in 1919 in Georgia. He was the youngest of 5 children. His father left the family when Jackie was still very young, and his mother moved them west to Pasadena, California. Jackie grew up knowing responsibility early, not because anyone explained it to him, because life demanded it. He was an athlete long before baseball ever came calling. At UCLA, Jackie Robinson played 4 sports: football, basketball, track, baseball. He wasn't just good. He was disciplined, focused, competitive in a quiet way. But talent alone didn't protect him. Not then. Not ever. Jackie served in the United States Army during World War II. And even there, he learned a lesson that would follow him for the rest of his life. Courage doesn't always get rewarded immediately. At Fort Hood, Jackie refused to move to the back of a military bus. He was arrested, court-martialed, eventually acquitted. But the message was clear. Standing up cost something. Chapter 2. Branch Rickey's Decision. By the mid-1940s, baseball was changing. Slowly, quietly, behind closed doors. Branch Rickey, president and general manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers, had decided something unprecedented. He wanted to break baseball's color line. But he knew something else, too. The first man through the door would be attacked from every angle. By fans, by players, by the press, by opponents. And that man could not fight back. Not at first. Rickey interviewed Jackie Robinson in 1945. The meeting lasted hours. Not about baseball, about character, about restraint, about whether Jackie could endure insults without responding. Rickey asked him directly, "Do you have the guts not to fight back?" That question was heavier than any pitch. Jackie answered yes, not because it was easy, because it was necessary. Chapter 3. Montreal and the First Test. Before Brooklyn, there was Montreal. In 1946, Jackie Robinson played for the Montreal Royals, the Dodgers' top farm team. Montreal mattered because it was the first time Jackie played professional baseball outside the rigid racial structure of the American South. In Montreal, something surprising happened. Fans cheered him. Teammates supported him. He played freely, and he was excellent. That season showed Branch Rickey something important. Jackie could play. But more importantly, Jackie could survive. Chapter 4, Opening Day, Brooklyn, 1947. April 15th, 1947, Brooklyn, New York. Jackie Robinson stepped onto the field at Ebbets Field. He wasn't announced with fanfare. He wasn't celebrated. He was placed at first base, and the noise started immediately. Fans shouted slurs. Opposing players taunted him. Some Dodgers teammates threatened to strike rather than play with him. Jackie Robinson stood there, and he did not respond. That silence was not weakness. It was armor. Chapter 5. Every game was a test. Jackie Robinson's first season was not a baseball season. It was a trial. Every city, every hotel, every dugout. He received death threats. He received hate mail. He heard things no human being should hear said about them. And he was expected to perform anyway. Some nights he went back to his hotel room and stared at the walls. Not angry, just tired. Baseball historians often say Jackie Robinson had to play 2 games at once, one on the field and one inside himself. Chapter 6. Pee Wee Reese and the Quiet Moment. One of the most important moments of Jackie Robinson's first year did not involve a hit, or a steal, or a run. It happened in Cincinnati. Fans were especially loud, especially cruel. Jackie stood near shortstop, hearing it all. Then Pee Wee Reese, the Dodgers captain, walked over, put his arm around Jackie's shoulder, and stood there. He didn't say anything. He didn't argue with the crowd. He just stood. That silence mattered. Sometimes support doesn't look like speeches. Sometimes it looks like presence. Chapter 7. The Weight of Not Responding. Jackie Robinson was not naturally passive. That's important to understand. He was competitive, proud, quick to react. Holding back went against his nature, and it cost him, physically, emotionally, mentally. He later said that the hardest part was not the insults. It was pretending they didn't hurt. Chapter 8. Grandpa's Rainy Pause. Let's pause here for a moment, kiddo. Listen to the rain. Let it wash over the noise. Jackie Robinson's first year wasn't about glory. It was about endurance, about holding a line so others wouldn't have to hold it alone. When the season began, Jackie Robinson didn't know how long the silence would last. Not the silence from him, the silence from others. He didn't know when teammates would speak, when crowds would quiet, when the game would feel like just a game again. All he knew was that every day required discipline. Chapter 9. Baseball Slowly. At first, Jackie Robinson's numbers were modest. Not bad, but not loud. He was learning a new position, learning a new league, learning how to play while being watched more closely than any rookie had ever been watched. Every swing was dissected, every mistake magnified, every success questioned. Was it real or was it symbolic? Jackie didn't argue with that question. He answered it the only way he could, by playing. He ran hard to first base, every time. He slid aggressively, not recklessly, intentionally. He pressured defenses by refusing to slow down. That pressure did something subtle. It made opponents think. And thinking in baseball is how mistakes begin. Chapter 10. The Turning Point. There is no single moment where the season suddenly becomes easier. But there is a stretch where something shifts. Pitchers stop throwing inside as often. Crowds still shouted, but some voices disappeared. Opponents stopped laughing in the dugout. Not because Jackie had won them over, but because he was no longer fragile. He was dangerous. That's when resentment changes. It stops being playful cruelty and becomes quiet fear. Chapter 11. Stealing more than bases. Jackie Robinson didn't just steal bases. He stole timing. He stole attention. He stole the idea that baseball had to look the way it always had. When Jackie danced off first base, pitchers rushed. Catchers hesitated. Infields tightened. Even when he didn't run, the threat of running changed the game. That's power. Not brute power, but psychological power. Chapter 12. Teammates begin to speak. Early in the season, some Dodgers had signed a petition saying they wouldn't play with Jackie. That petition disappeared, quietly, without ceremony. One by one, teammates began to defend him, sometimes with words, sometimes with fists, sometimes just by refusing to laugh along. Jackie noticed. He didn't thank them publicly. He didn't make speeches. He just kept playing. Because the goal was never comfort. The goal was permanence. Chapter 13. Nights Alone. Even as the team shifted, the nights were still long. Jackie and his wife, Rachel, stayed in separate hotels in many cities. Hotels that would take them. Restaurants that would serve them. Some nights Jackie lay awake, not angry, just tight, like his body didn't know how to let go yet. Rachel later said that those nights were when the cost was most visible, because the world only saw the field, but the weight lived off it. Chapter 14. Letting Talent Speak. As summer arrived, Jackie Robinson's game opened up. Hits came in bunches. Runs followed. His confidence settled. He wasn't proving anything anymore. He was competing. And that's an important difference. By mid-season, Jackie Robinson was no longer a question mark. He was a factor. Opposing teams planned for him. Announcers talked about him as a baseball player first. Chapter 15. The Pennant Race. The Dodgers were good, very good. And Jackie Robinson was part of that. Not a symbol on the bench, a contributor on the field. Every close game mattered. Every mistake felt heavier. But Jackie stayed even. That was his strength. He didn't let pressure speed him up. He had learned patience the hardest way possible. Chapter 16. Rookie of the Year. At the end of the season, Jackie Robinson was named Rookie of the Year. The award covered both leagues at the time, and there was no real debate. He had hit, he had run, he had defended, and he had endured. But the award wasn't the point. The season was. Because the season proved something simple and enormous. That baseball could change without breaking. Chapter 17. Grandpa's Quiet Reflection. Jackie Robinson's first year wasn't heroic in the way movies like to tell stories. There were no speeches in the rain, no last-second triumph that fixed everything. There was just a man showing up every day and refusing to disappear. That kind of courage is easy to miss because it doesn't shout, but it lasts. Chapter 18. What Year One Left Behind. After 1947, Jackie Robinson was never alone again. Other players followed. Doors stayed open. The game changed, slowly, permanently. But Year One was the cost. Year One was the price of entry. And Jackie paid it so others wouldn't have to. Chapter 19. Bedtime Truth. Some nights, kiddo, you don't need a story about winning. You need a story about holding steady until the storm passes. Jackie Robinson's first year was a storm he walked through without swinging back. And because of that, the world shifted just enough for someone else to follow. Chapter 20, Grandpa's Closing. So tonight, as the rain keeps tapping the window and the room grows heavier, remember this: strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, "I'll be here tomorrow too." Sleep now. The rain will keep watch.